Today we're going to take a look at a cheaper alternative to the Meta Quest 3. This is the PICO 4, a virtual reality headset that shares pretty much all of the exact same features, but is around £100 cheaper than the Meta Quest 3. For full transparency, today's video is sponsored by PICO. They have provided me with a headset as a review sample so I can make this video. Right, so I'm pretty interested to try out the PICO 4 again. Now, this isn't going to be the first time me actually testing this headset. I did get one back in, I think was it 2022 when it first launched, and when the PICO 4 first came out, it actually was massively ahead of things like the Quest 2. It had a full color pass-through camera and a bunch of other stuff that made it a pretty capable headset. And it's still got a lot of features that keeps it on par with a lot of its competitors currently in the marketplace, even with the newer Meta Quest 3. So we'll unbox this, get it set up, and also try out a whole bunch of new games that have recently launched. Hell, if I got a knife, I lost my knife. I don't know where it is. We've unboxed hundreds of products with this knife and it's now missing. I feel like I'm lost. Setup of the PICO 4 is fairly straightforward. Inside of the box, you get all of the accessories that you need. You've got the headset, 2 controllers, and also a Type-C charging cable. First thing you're going to want to do is attach the safety strap to the controllers so you can dangle them from your wrist. This makes it much easier to put the headset on and off, and also ensures that you don't drop these while you're actually gaming. Then you can proceed with the setup of the headset, which involves you creating a PICO account and connecting the headset to your Wi-Fi to do any firmware updates. It's very fast and straightforward. Once all of this is completed, you can then draw out your play area, which if you've owned any brand of VR headset, you will be familiar with this process. You just draw it out as if you've got like a spray can in your hand, and then this will create a safety boundary to make sure you don't run into any furniture, objects, or walls. There are some advanced settings that you will want to enable on the PICO 4 to ensure you get the most out of this headset, including high refresh rate for the displays and a huge range of different shortcuts that I'll talk about later on in the video. So I now need to install some games onto this headset so I can try them out. Now, at the time of me making this video, there is a bundle offer where you get £100 worth of free games included with the headset. Now, of course, when it comes to redeeming a code, it would be incredibly inefficient for me to have to wear the headset, take the headset on and off and read the code on my screen or use the pass-through camera. But thankfully, with the PICO app on your smartphone, you can install this. You can browse the store just like you would to purchase games, figure out what you want to play next, add it to a wish list much quicker. You can do this on the go as well if you're on the train, traveling to work or school or something like that. But you can also go to the My Account area and actually redeem a code. So you can go ahead, throw in a code redemption here, just copy and paste it via the email if you've been sent one, or just quickly type it in like a text message, much quicker than obviously doing it via the VR headset. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste the code that I've got here, and we will redeem it to my account. While we wait for the games to download, let's talk about some of the other features that you can access within the mobile app. There is this cool mixed reality capture that you can set up where you can use your smartphone to film videos of you placed inside of the virtual reality environments that you're exploring within the headset. This is all done within the PICO app and very fast and easy to set up, and I guess it's quite useful if you wanted to do any form of content creation or just share some clips with your friends. On the topic of friends, you can also add and manage your friends list within the PICO app. Unfortunately, right now, I don't have any, so this is a little bit embarrassing, this segment. There's also the community tab that lets you see what other users are currently doing on their headset, get updates on the product, and also find the latest and greatest games that people are playing each month. And then finally, the screencast that lets you stream the display of the VR headset over to your smartphone, so anybody who's locally in your room, any friends or family, can actually see what you're doing in their headset, and it makes it much more social. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw out a new area for us to try out the games now that they've installed. We're in a much larger room here, so we can really play about with some of the room scale and see how this sort of performs with everything. Then we'll go into the VR world. Now, one thing I must admit, I'm really impressed with the overall, I'd say fidelity is probably the best word, and almost the pixel density of the screens. Just the text is very easy to read when it comes to the headset itself. Now, one thing I have noticed on the headset while we load into a game is the fact that there are actually some fans inside of the headset located near the screen. So obviously the screens get hot while you game, so those fans are intended to keep that area cooler, so it keeps your eyes and face cool. Now, this is perfectly fine if you don't have contact lenses, and when I tried this headset out about a year or so ago, I was using my glasses, but I now have contact lenses, so I have noticed that obviously these fans I wouldn't say they dry your eyes out, but obviously when you have contact lenses in, you're a little bit more susceptible to drying of the eye. So that's just something to be aware of if you are a glasses user and you obviously predominantly use yourself contact lenses. But let's go ahead and jump into some games and see what the performance of this headset is like. So I feel like sports games are the perfect title to sort of first get used to playing virtual reality games. A lot of people suffer from VR sickness when they have a VR gaming headset. That's because they're going to an experience that is completely, their brain's never seen it before. It's super fast paced, and then that makes them feel just a little bit overwhelmed in the headset. But games like sports, ping pong, table tennis, that is perfect in virtual reality to sort of tease you into an experience of VR, because you get used, your body's already used to these motions and this sort of almost calibration in terms of spatial awareness of a ping pong and a ping pong table. Like, you're used to seeing this in real life, so your brain isn't confused by the objects that it's seeing. So I find stuff like this is very easy to play in virtual reality, and also way more fun. I did like try and play ping pong as a kid. We had like a table in the garden, but all my siblings are way older than me. They're like 15 years older than me, so I never had anyone to play with. But now I've got this random cat that I can play with inside of my VR headsets. It's actually pretty fun. Now, of course, there are a whole load of other types of games that are pretty advanced experiences on virtual reality headsets, and we're going to jump into one of them next that will really show off the graphical capabilities and also the immersive experiences that you can lose yourself within, with storytelling games, single-player titles, and also some pretty cool multiplayer games as well that are pretty immersive in the FPS shooter genres. Now, if you are wondering, the PICO 4 is also compatible with mixed reality because it does have a full-color pass-through camera. Now, this was one of the first VR headsets to have a full-color pass-through camera before the Quest 2 that just had a black and white one. So when this launched, it was well ahead of the marketplace when that happened. And especially in the last few months, I have been playing a lot of mixed reality games. There's way more of them coming onto the marketplace because so many different headsets are now leveraging these sort of color pass-through cameras to allow people to have the actual video game in their real life environment, which just makes the headset and the experiences you can have with the headsets even more unique. So this is Red Matter 2, which is a great example of a more advanced virtual reality experience, and already the depth of scale in this is unbelievable. So we're in like a spaceship here. Now, of course, this supports both a seated experience if you don't have much room, or if you're in a privileged position like me here and you have quite a large room, you can actually walk around massively inside of this space. But of course, my house isn't as big as this spaceship right here, so you do still use a degree of motion with the controllers itself, and that's with the cool little joysticks that are available on the controller. So I can actually physically turn around my character, or if I wanted to, I could use the stick to turn a bit quicker. Now, personally, using the stick's probably going to cause a little bit more motion sickness, just using that to turn, like, whoa, you know, so just turning around like this is going to be way more natural, and then you can just use this thumbstick to basically walk. I bet you could even probably pretend to walk in your head like I'm walking right now. So then that feels a little bit more natural. So that could be an option, I guess. So there you can see I can just turn around in the real life environment and then walk, or I could turn around with the stick and stay where I'm at if you really are sort of cautious on the space that you've got. Problem is with most VR games, in my opinion, especially, I had like the very first Oculus, the CV1, and just the quality of that headset, although the technology was cool and you had all of the tracking available to you, the problem was like the graphics just sucked in terms of the pixel resolution of each screen. But this is amazing, and also obviously it's a standalone device. There's no trackers or anything, so you just throw it on, take it off, and it makes it quite portable as well. You could just set this up wherever you like. I know personally for my nephew, he loves his virtual reality headsets. He will like bring it on family trips or whatever, just put it on and set it up in the corner, and he'll get lost in these crazy environments. It's much easier than him bringing his Xbox or PlayStation, because he needs to bring the PlayStation, all the power cables for the PlayStation, potentially even a monitor or display for the PlayStation to set it up in the corner, whereas he can just bring the headset and his two controllers. Can I punch? No. Damn it, this has all gone wrong. I'm trying to do a tutorial on a headset here. This game's way too hard. Shooting games work so well in virtual reality because you have, especially like when it's pistols and things like that. Obviously, you can do stuff with the bigger guns, but when it's little pistols, the way these hand controllers feel in your palm is very, very realistic in terms of the ergonomics of this style of weapon. So we do have some holsters, so we can put stuff in the holsters and take them out. But you see what I mean about how having the hand controllers with like pistols, look at how natural that looks in terms of the tracking and what my wrists are doing in real life. Like, that feels like I am literally Tomb Raider right now. I'm quite enjoying it. Speakers sound good in this headset as well. Very, almost like spatial audio, if that makes sense. Wait, eject the empty mag. Oh, there we go. Insert the new mag. I've dropped it. Oh my word, this is embarrassing. There we go, right. Oh, and then I need to cock it. Oh my God, I did have advanced reload on. I should have went simple reload. I'm no gun pro. There we go. There we go. Right. Boom. Oh, damn it. Eject the gun. Oh, it's over.
So when it comes to the pricing on the PICO 4, it sort of sits in between the Meta Quest 3 and also the Meta Quest 2. It's a little bit more expensive than the Meta Quest 2, coming in at £340, but it's way cheaper than obviously the Meta Quest 3.
Now, of course, there's also the comparison to be made to the Apple Vision Pro, which is a $3,500 headset. So this is 10% of the price of that. And because of apps such as Immerse, you can use the Pico 4 for mixed reality AR productivity tasks. This app enables a whole bunch of cool workspace features, and you can also hook it up to your laptop or desktop PC. But obviously the benefit of something like the Pico 4 over the Apple Vision Pro, not only is it way cheaper, but the Pico 4 is specifically also focused on gaming. So you get the best of both worlds. You can use it for work and also for proper virtual reality titles.
Now, you do get some comparable features to the Meta Quest 3 compared to the Quest 2 with the Pico 4. Obviously, you get the full color pass-through cameras as a starter, but also you do get an upgraded head strap versus the Meta Quest 3 and also just the Quest 2 in general. So obviously the Meta headsets are cool headsets, but the head strap's rubbish, like just absolutely nonsense. So you have to spend an additional, I think it's like 50 or 80 quid, something like that, to get the Pro head strap to make it more comfortable and useful for longer gaming sessions. Whereas with the Pico 4, this is built straight into the headset, straight out of the box, which makes a massive difference to how you use the headset itself. I like how it actually attaches onto your face, like the way this folds up. So you hold it there and then present it to your face. Then you fold this down and then you can tighten it up with the adjuster at the rear. Now, because of this head strap, it does also mean that the headset is counterbalanced much better. The battery is actually located in the rear of the head strap. So this means that when it's on your face, there's much less pressure on the front of the headset. So I don't get the same issue where I have like almost like pain on my nose and sort of the front of the face when you're playing for ages. Whereas with these Quest headsets, usually it gets super red around here because there's so much pressure leaning forward on the headset with just the way that obviously the weight is counterbalanced. This works out very, very nice, and you can notice it as well with the top padding. It also allows space for you to wear your glasses inside of here, so I can fit that on and actually have my glasses on without any problem at all because there's lots of space surrounding the padding area, and it just sits and presents nicely up onto your forehead. Now, there are some additional features that aren't enabled straight out of the box with the Pico 4, and I want to show you some of these now because it really truly helps you get the most out of this headset.
First, let's take a look at name change. If you go over to user info, this will open up a panel that will let you customize the details of your account. By default, your Pico account will get a random allocated name just like this, either within the app or within this widget on the headset itself. You can just dive in and type whatever name you like as long as it's available with the on-screen keyboard. This will make it way easier for your friends to add you and vice versa for you to add your friends. Next up, we've got the recording settings, and it's very important that you get these correct. Now, all of the footage you've seen throughout this video was recorded directly within the headset itself using its own capture features, but you actually want to change this because straight out of the box, by default, your screen recordings will look like this, a 1x1 square. So you want to change this out to be 16:9 so you get the full screen real estate of your monitor, and also change the bitrate settings to be high quality to get the best possible image from your files. On the controller, there is the media button that you can press to trigger a screenshot capture, or press and hold it for a couple of seconds to enable recording, and then press it again to stop the recording process. If you then want to transfer these files off the headset, you just plug it into your PC with a USB cable. A feature you definitely want to enable is pass-through mode. This will let you double tap the side of the headset to trigger the pass-through camera, which will let you see what's happening in the real world around you without having to take the headset off. And then again, you can double tap the side of the headset to disable the pass-through camera and go back into the virtual world. This is a brilliant safety feature to make sure you're not crashing into any furniture, pets, or other people in your room. Now, probably one of the most important features for hardcore gamers is 90 Hz mode. This will increase the refresh rate of the screens, which will result in smoother gameplay, but also hopefully reduce the chance of you experiencing any motion sickness because the screens are responding much faster, feeling more natural to your eyes. Now, the final setting is an unusual one that can be very easily overlooked, but it's called dominant hand. This lets you establish within the headset which is your strongest hand, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, and then in the games, it will assign this accordingly. So if you hold the pistols with your left hand or your right hand, it will optimize your experience around this so you don't have to toggle and change it every single time.
The Pico 4 does also support hand tracking inside of the headset, so that unlocks compatibility with quite a lot of different games, but also it can be hooked up to your PC as a dedicated headset. So if you want to use this for normal VR titles, you can plug it into your gaming computer just like that and use it obviously as a wired headset.
Overall, I'm impressed with the PICO 4. I think it's held up very well since its launch back in 2022, and it has all of the modern features that you would require from a virtual reality headset and can do pretty much everything the Meta Quest 3 can, but at a much lower price point. I'll leave links down below in the video description so you can learn more about this headset, even save some money on some upcoming sales that are available. Because at the time of making this video, the PICO 4 is only £269 in Amazon Gaming Week, which is an absolute steal for a VR headset of this caliber. But as always, I've been Ben Rowlands. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.